We're back at Cleveland Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, the first of three between the White Sox and the Cleveland Indians. It's an absolutely perfect night for baseball here in Cleveland. And Greg Hibbert will be going after his second consecutive victory since his return from the minor leagues and Vancouver. Now let's take a look at the White Sox lineup given by manager Jeff Torborg. Sox in second place in the American League West. They're 6 games behind Minnesota, tied with Oakland. 13 games over 500. Here's the way they line up. Leading off in left field, the Rock, Tim Raines. Robin Ventura hits second. He'll play third base. Big Frank Thomas is the DH in his customary third spot. Danny Pasco in the cleanup position. He'll play first base. Carlton Fisk catches hitting fifth. He's followed by right fielder Warren Newsom. Lance Johnson is in center field, hitting in the 7th spot. Scotty Fletcher gets a start at second base. And Ozzie Guillen brings up the rear at shortstop. Defensively, the Indians line up with Chris James in left field, Glenn Allen Hill in center, Mark Whitten is in right. Jeff Manto plays third base, Felix Fermin at shortstop, Carlos Baerga is at second base, and former White Sox Carlos Martinez plays first. The battery tonight of Willie Blair and Joel Skinner. Here's a look at Willie Blair. He is starting his second ball game of the season. He's 0-1 with a 6.14 earned run average. Former Blue Jay has worked 7 1/3 innings this year, given up 12 hits, 5 earned runs. He has walked 1 while striking out 3. American League is hitting a whopping .353 against Willie since his recall. In his last start, though, he pitched very effectively against Texas on the 17th. He did lose that ball game. He worked 7 strong innings, gave up 6 hits and 2 runs, walking 1 while striking out 3. The umpires tonight, our good buddies in blue. At home plate is Drew Coble, John Shulock at first base, Mark Johnson at second, and at third, Tim Cheetah. And that is it. Big Cleveland Stadium. Looks like the field is in very good playing condition. They have lengthened this field considerably. 415 to dead center field now. And with Tim Raines in the batter's box, here's the Hawk.
All right, Wimpy, thank you very much. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball as the first pitch to the Rock down low, and the ball game is underway. Tim hitting at .270, 4 homers. He's knocked in 42. Rock on a 10-game hitting streak. He has the high on the ball club this season at 12. So the 6th meeting of the season between these two clubs. Sox hold a 3-2 edge. Of the 3 games played here at Cleveland Stadium, Sox have won 2 of those. As the corner's in close, there's a ball in the hole. Baerga cannot get there. So a leadoff single, 11-game hitting streak for Raines.
And thank you. That ball looked like it was a couple feet to the right of Carlos Martinez, didn't it? Looked like it was an easy play for the first baseman. If you take a look at the no chance for Baerga. It was completely away from his second base position, but almost right at the first base position. Look how far Baerga's got to go. Martinez ran directly to first base.
Here's Ventura. Robin hitting at .303, 20 homers. He's knocked in 77. 5 for 20 this year against Cleveland pitching with a homer and 5 knocked in. Takes the strike, says Drew Coble. 320 down each line here at Cleveland Stadium, 400 in the gaps, 415 straightaway center field, and tonight the wind blowing straight in off Lake Erie. This is a monster park. There's that dug out nicely by Joel Skinner, and the count 1-1.
Playing field looks like it's in great condition, though, doesn't it, Hawk?
Yeah.
First time in many times that we've come here. This place looks very good, even though the Browns are playing their exhibition season now.
1-1 pitch to Robin. Chopper, Baerga. Fermin. .103rd double play turn by the Tribe this season. So Willie Blair throws a double play ball to Ventura. Blair out of Paintsville, Kentucky. 25 years old, 6'1", 185 pounds. Tom mentioned originally with the Blue Jays. As Big Frank steps in. Takes a fastball strike. Big Frank hitting at 323, 26 homers. He has knocked in 96. 21 the count. In fact, in the last 28 ball games, Thomas hitting at 411 with 10 homers and 35 RBIs. Breaking ball misses, and the count 2-1. Let's see, top 10 in average, runs, hits, leading in RBIs. I mean, check that, in walks. That could be trouble. Stay fair. Just foul. So the count 2-2. Tribe, as Wimpy mentioned, 44 games under the 500 mark. They have won 38 and lost 82. Up high, full count. Big Frank 8 for 19 this year against Cleveland pitching. One hopper comebacker. And that'll do it. So leadoff single by Raines goes for naught, nothing across after a half inning of play. It's the Sox nothing and the Tribe coming to bat.
No score, bottom of the first inning, and let's take a look at the lineup given by Mike Hargrove, new Cleveland manager. Here's the way the Indians line up. Leading off in center field, Glenallen Hill. Chris James is in left, batting second. Carlos Baerga, the second baseman, will hit third. Cleanup man is the DH, Albert Bell. Fine power product there. Mark Whitten is in right field, hitting fifth. He's followed by Carlos Martinez at first base. Bottom third of the lineup has Jeff Manto at third base, Joel Skinner catching, and Felix Fermin at shortstop. And the Sox line up with Tim Raines in left field, Lance Johnson in center, Warren Newsom is in right. Around the horn, Robin Ventura at third base, Ozzie Guillen at shortstop, Scotty Fletcher at second, and Danny Pasco plays first. The battery tonight of Greg Hibbert and Carlton Fisk. There's a look at Hibbert, 8-9 on the season, 4.30 earned run average in 23 starts. He has 5 complete games. Hibby has given up 158 hits in 155 innings, 44 walks, 58 strikeouts. The American League is hitting .265 against Hibbert. Last start, he beat the Yankees on the 18th, 9 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. They were in the last inning. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts.
Here's Glenallen Hill. It will be Hill, James, and Baerga. First pitch hit hard in the left field. This is a big yard. Can of corn. Well, you can do that all night.
Yeah. Well, good idea. Throw it up and away and see how far they can hit the ball, those gaps. And tell you what, not many guys are going to reach the fences, especially with that wind blowing straight in.
That wind is just firing in. And unlike a lot of ballparks, especially our park, Comiskey, when the wind blows in, it swirls there, but when the wind blows in here, I'll tell you, you can't hardly shoot one out of here. There's Old Glory. It's Chris James. Now, you can do it right down the lines, of course, because it's only 320. But once you get it out about 40 feet, 50 feet from those lines, it is tough. Curveball misses. James hitting at 240, 5 homers. He's knocked in 39. Last 18 times he's been up there, he has 6 hits. 28-year-old outfielder, DH, as there's a good change from Hibbert. Chris 2 for 19 this year against Sox pitching. Foul down at home plate, so the count 1-2. Outfield swung just a bit around to the right. Gap between Raines and Lance Johnson. Sox will have 3 here in Cleveland. We'll move on down to Kansas City for a 3-game set before returning back home for an 8-game homestand, 4 with the Tribe and 4 with the Royals. So the next 14 games will be up against these 2 ball clubs. Two off the end of the bat, Ozzie. Watch out. Tricky hop. Now he recognizes it. And there's 2 gone.
That's a good sign right there. Anybody that tries to pull Greg Hibbert, like Chris James obviously did right there, will hit a lot of weak ground balls to the left side of the infield. The right-handed hitters will anyway. Here's the Ozzie trying to get used to that infield. Charges it. Does get it on the short hop, though, and makes the play. Key for Hibbert, keep that good off-speed motion with that changeup. One thing he did do, and Jeff Trobar talked about it last week, Hawk, is he moved from the first base side of the rubber to the third base side. So that gives him a better angle at the plate. It certainly worked against the Yankees. And maybe it makes him throw across his body more like you were talking about last weekend at New York.
Yeah, he's getting better movement on his sinker, and he's taking more off the chain. The big thing is he's pitching some of those right-handers inside against the Yankees. He just dominated that ball game. Had a shutout with 2 outs and 2 strikes on Kevin Moss in the bottom of the 9th inning before the 3-run homer. Baerga diving out over the plate, almost dived, I should say, right into that one.
See, I like where Baerga stands in the batter's box. His back foot is even with the back of the plate. So when he strides, he's almost out of the batter's box, but in front of the batter's box.
He had a couple of home runs yesterday at Fenway Park. In fact, he's hit in 19 of the last 22 ball games at a .337 clip.
See, there you go. There's
it looks a little bit like a Tom Paciorek stance.
Maybe that's why I like
That's why you like it.
A little open, too.
Ventura, that's foul ball. Robbins going to talk with Cheetah just briefly. So Baerga gets a reprieve.
Carlos, he's just 22 years old from San Juan, Puerto Rico. I'll tell you, he's very talented. Switch hitter. Got a good season working for him at 296, 11 homers, 50 RBIs. Those are good numbers because Cleveland is last in the American League in runs scored, home runs, just production in general. The Tribe just hasn't been able to do much at all on offense. Plus, they're 3rd from the bottom in stolen bases, so they're not doing the job done with any type of speed either.
Well, and you only won 38 ball games here on August 23rd. Something's wrong.
That's not good.
Ozzie. And an easy 1-2-3 inning for the little Bulldog Greg Hibbert. After 1, no score. No score, top of the 2nd inning. For the Sox, it'll be Pasqua, Fisk, and Newsom to face Willie Blair. Danny hitting at .266, 13 homers, 48 RBIs, 4 for 12 this year against the Tribe. It's that one foul, and the count 0-1. Danny trying to get this thing back together. Last week or 10 days or so, he has been scuffling. Outfield playing him around to the left. Foul down, and the count quickly 0-2. And a reminder, on Labor Day, September 2nd at 7:05, the Sox host Kansas City. It'll also be Chicago Tribune half-price night. Plus, all kids in attendance will receive a lunch bag courtesy of Koala Yummies. So just call or visit your local Ticketmaster, 312-831-1SOX. Final this afternoon, Cubs came back and won that ball game. They were trailing 4-0. Uh-oh. As Danny is gone. Good change right there from Blair.
Yeah, he had a good arm action right here. He followed that inside fastball up nicely with this pitch. So he went straight down. Blair's got 4 different pitches: sinking fastball, slider, curveball, and changeup.
So here's Carlton Fisk. Commander hitting at .268, 10 homers. He's knocked in 51. 5 for 21 this year against Cleveland. Takes a strike. Sox 6 games back of the Twins. Cleveland 27 games back of the Blue Jays. who are just one game in front of the Tigers and 3.5 in front of the Red Sox. Low ball 2. 2 balls, a strike, 1 out here in the second. Sox on a 3-game losing streak. Cleveland on a 5-game losing streak. Souvenir right side. And we'll peek out, check the standings over in the American League East.
That was a black day for Cleveland yesterday because that eliminated their chance of finishing 500 by losing yesterday. That's amazing, isn't it? 82 losses at this point.
Full count to Fisk. Well, it's an old saying, you're going to win 60 and you're going to lose 60. It's what you do with those other 42 that make any difference. But Cleveland might not be in that situation where they're going to win 60.
Funny you should say that because Cleveland's got 42 games left. It's been a long year for these
Yeah,
guys.
it has. It's been a tough season.
Well, they lengthened the field, and that didn't seem to help. You know, last year at this point, Cleveland was just 8.5 games back, and they were 18 games better in the loss column. In the win column, that is.
Walk to Fisk. And that'll bring up Warren Newsom. Deacon hitting at 301, 4 homers. He's knocked in 20. He's been to the plate twice this year against Cleveland. He's 0 for 2.
I'll tell you what it's going to take to win the night in the elements. You got the wind blowing straight in, a huge ballpark. Sox going to have to do some running tonight. More bunting.
Not a very good swing right there by Deacon. Not one of his #1 Major League hacks.
No, that certainly wasn't. But the Sox, you know, in order to win, Hawk, you're going to have to do some bunting, get the guys in scoring position, something that they really haven't been doing much of lately, execution.
Chops that one foul off the end of the bat. So the count 0-2. Jeff Torborg, who managed this ball club, knows what it is on nights like this when that wind blowing in. And as you mentioned, Wimpy, especially since the fences have been moved back, a lot of times they'll take a mediocre pitcher and make him into a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Blow off the plate and the count 1-2. But still, I think your evaluation up front was best when you're playing a club that's down like the Tribe. The quicker you can get on the board, the better off you are, because it more or less puts them right back into the same psyche. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, that losing psyche, that we can't catch a break, well, here we go again type
Here we go
attitude.
again.
Yeah.
Mike Hargrove, new skipper. Rich Dower in the background. That'll be foul out of play. So the count hangs at 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out.
Well, you build a ballpark like this, you got to fill your lineup just full of nothing but speed, don't you? Guys that can bunt, do the little things, play good defense too for your pitching staff. Ball down and in.
Full count to Newsom. Bottom of the first at Sky Dome. Yankees leading the Blue Jays 1-0. This takes off. Ball hit in the left field. Chris James. So with 2 out, that'll bring up the center fielder, Lance Johnson. Lance hitting at 255, no homers. He's knocked in 35. 2 for 16 this year against Cleveland. But as all Sox fans know, he is an integral part of this ball club, patrolling that acreage out there in center, right center, and left center. Takes it high off the plate. There's a strike. 1-1. Lance in the last 8 ball games is 10 for 28. Fouls it away. So with a count of 1-2 strikes, let's pause for station identification.
This is WGN-TV Chicago, America's #1 sports station.
Along with the Whipperoo, Tom Paciorek. This is Ken Harrelson from Cleveland Stadium. As Lance foul tips it into the mid of Joel Skinner. So nothing across. There were no hits. No errors, 1 left after an inning and a half. No score. No score, bottom of the 2nd inning. And a reminder, there will be White Sox batting helmets from Coca-Cola for all kids on Sunday, September 1st, as the Sox host these Indians at 1:35 p.m. Tickets are still available at your local Ticketmaster or dial 312-831-1-SOX. It'll be Bell, Whitten, and Martinez for the Tribe here in the 2nd. Albert hitting at .278, 23 homers, 64 RBIs. Has 4 home runs in his last 8 ball games. And he has been what you would definitely classify as an enigma for this ball club. Very, very strong as he takes it low. Taken out of a ball game again yesterday at Fenway Park for not running out. A ball to first base. He was earlier sent down against the Sox last time we were in here. That's up the middle. Scotty Fletcher's right there. 1 gone. When John McNamara was in, took him out of the lineup, and they sent him down to Colorado Springs. Wimpy, when you talk about Bill having 23 homers, 64 RBIs, playing in this ballpark, that'll show you something about the ability he has.
Oh, it's amazing. You know, he spent 4 weeks in the minors this year, and then he had a 1-week suspension because of problems that he had earlier in the year. So you're talking about some terrific numbers in a huge ballpark and hitting basically with nobody on base.
Man, really not a guy to back him up in a tight situation in a ball game, so they'll pitch around him. Here's Mark Whitten, switch hitter, hitting at .246. He has 8 homers, 42 RBIs. Whitten, of course, along with Glenn Allen Hill and Dennis Boucher, coming over from the Blue Jays for Tom Candiotti in a deal that's certainly going to benefit Cleveland down the road. Little looper into short center field. Little duck snort's going to fall for a base hit.
You know, that wind really brought that ball back to the infield. Scotty Fletcher didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it, but if he goes back the way he usually does, he might have had a play on this ball. Take a look. That was a good pitch by Hibbert on the sinker. The wind really brings it back. Well, maybe Scotty didn't have much of a chance on that one, but you got to be aware of everything right now because it's going to come straight back to the infield.
Here's former Sox infielder Carlos Martinez. There's a shot base hit in the left field. Martinez hitting .302 for the Tribe. So with 1 out. Whitten at second, Martinez at first. That'll bring up the third Socker, Jeff Manto. Manto hitting at .217, a couple of homers. He's knocked in 13. Jeff 10 for his last 32. Pencil out at .313, so he's been swinging the bat better. Had a tough series against the Red Sox with the leather. Hibbert looking for a pair. Off the plate. Outfield bunch swung just a bit around to the left. Jeff, 27 years old today, so he is the birthday boy. Good change in the count, 1-1. Curveball on the inside corner. Nice pitch by Hibbert. And the count moves to 1-2. So he starts him off with a fastball up and away. Comes back with a change low and away. Curveball inside corner. Pop that little fastball on the inside. With a big lead at second.
There's a guy that'll help your headache off. Huh?
Yeah. Forever. Curveball, he got up. Nance is there. And there's 2 gone. So that'll bring up another member, formerly of the Sox, Joel Skinner. Skinner hitting at 242, a homer. He has knocked in 22. He's 3 for 13 this 2 for 13, I should say, this year against White Sox pitching. Minnesota at Baltimore, no score after an inning and a half. That's basically nothing for the month. He's going to score, and it's a 1-0 Cleveland lead.
Well, we talked about how important it was for the White Sox to get on the board early against Cleveland. It's going to make Cleveland a little bit better ball club right now. They've lost 9 of their last 10, but a good job of hitting by Joel Skinner on a curveball. Got it in a little bit too much, and Skinner kept his hands back nicely. Drives it right up the middle. That's his 23rd RBI of the season. 1-0 Tribe. And here's Felix Fermin. Got to keep the ball down on Fermin. Good high ball hitter.
He's hitting 259, no homers. He's knocked in 27. He has 3 hits this year and 19 at-bats against White Sox pitching. Takes a strike. Souvenir right side, so the count quickly 0-2. Run on 3 hits for the Indians. No runs on 1 hit for the Sox. Ozzie to Hopper. He'll throw him out, and that'll do it. The singles by Witten, Martinez, and Skinner put the Tribe on the board after 2, 1-0 Cleveland. One nothing Cleveland, top of the 3rd inning. For the Sox, it'll be Fletcher, Ozzie, then the top of the order, Tim Raines, to face the 25-year-old Kentuckian, Willie Blair. Willie, as we mentioned, born in Paintsville, Kentucky. Now resides in Lexington. not too far from Harrell.
Really? I never knew that.
Scooter takes the fastball high and inside. Remember, they got a golf course. I think I told you about it last year.
Yes, you did.
In Paintsville, it is unbelievable.
Maybe Willie Blair can get us on.
That's it high into left field. Chris James giving chase as he was playing him way over into left center. So there's one gone. It's not the golf course, it's the bridge that you got to go across. Drive the cart across. The swinging bridge. Just pitch.
Oh, great. Nah.
That's right. That'll bring up Ozzie. Ozzie hitting at 261. 4 for 18 this year against Indian pitching. That's a hard hit right at Glenallen Hill. 2 gone. Baltimore has come up with a run in the bottom of the second inning. That's Alan Anderson for the Twins and Big Ben McDonald for the Orioles.
Well, you know, Minnesota, they got to have a great feeling going to the ballpark right now, don't they, Hawk? The way they pulled the game out yesterday, they're down 4-1 in the 9th inning. They get a 3-run homer from Randy Bush. Then, of course, they're going to win it in the 10th. But they just got to feel right now that every time they walk into a stadium, they're going to win that game.
Well, obviously they feel that way as Rock steps in, takes the fastball high. He started it off with a ground ball single between first and second. But they have played well. They have played, after they get off to that bad start, they have come back and, without question, been the most consistent club in the major league.
That's right. They've been a great comeback team, too. They don't mind falling down a run or two.
Pitch low in the count 3-0 with Ventura on deck. There you see, Twins, 25 games over. That's on the outside corner, and the count 3-1. That's high and deep in the right field. But Mark Whitten is back, makes the catch. That's history at Comiskey Park. Meanwhile, can of corn here. 1-2 inning for Blair after 2.5. 1-0 Indians. Glenallen Hill leads off the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1-0 Cleveland. Glenallen 0 for 1, lined out hard to Tim Raines his first trip. It'll be Hill, James, and Baerga. '26-year-old outfielder, very, very strong. Takes it inside, and the count 1-1. They got some big, strong guys on this ball club. Inside to count 2-1. So Hibbert, 0-1 this year against the Tribe. He is 4-2 lifetime. Fouls that one off in the count 2-2. Beautiful day here in Cleveland. Cooled off just right for Wimpy this evening.
Perfect night for baseball.
Oh, too cold. Change low and the count 3-2.
I just love it.
Still, and talking with some of the people around here in Cleveland, they still don't know if they're going to get that stadium built.
Isn't that amazing?
Payoff pitch.
That's right. Everybody we talk to, nobody is really certain. what really is going on. They need one.
So Hill, who stands right, very close to the plate, takes ball 4. And a participating advertiser of White Sox baseball is Benoit Motor Sales, where it's Advantage Dodge. First walk issued by Hibbert. That'll bring up the left fielder, Chris James, who bounced out to Ozzie his first time up. And a reminder, you can take advantage of specially selected weekends for a Chicago White Sox ticket. That'll be a ticket package at the Hyatt Regency. You can spend a weekend in luxury at the beginning of the Magnificent Mile and enjoy all the excitement of White Sox baseball. Make reservations at the Hyatt when the Sox play Seattle September 27th, 8th, and 9th. And the first 50 people will be treated to a private behind-the-scenes tour of New Comiskey Park. So for reservations, just dial 800-233-1234. Glenn Allen has 6 stolen bases in 9 attempts. Boy, he has a big lead. Of course, Hibbert does not have a real good move to first base. He takes off. One ball hit into the gap in right center field. That's going to score Glenn Allen Hill. Chris James pulls in the second with a double, and the Tribe leads it 2-0. Leadoff walk has scored.
That's a great job of execution right there by Chris James. Mike Hargrove does a good thing here, putting the hit and run on, because it forces James to swing the bat and make him concentrate on what he does best, and that's drive the ball up the middle or the opposite field. He just does an excellent job right here. Glenn Allen Hill is off. Fastball out over the plate. Just a perfect job of hitting. Right in that gap in right center field. The wind's not going to hold that ball down. Lance Johnson will cut it off, but Glenn Allen Hill, as Hawk mentioned, has good speed for a big guy. So the Tribe in business, 2-0 here in the third inning, and Baerga, the hitter, with the runner at second, nobody out.
He also bounced out to Ozzie in the first inning. Takes it high.
But you know, Hawk, Hibbert is a good guy to hit and run against. He's around the plate constantly. He's not going to throw the ball by you too much upstairs, so make him swing the bat, concentrate on hitting the ball the other way, just like they did there, and you can do some damage against them.
There's a base hit in the right field. Here comes James. Here's a throw by Newsom. Not in time. It's 3-0 Cleveland.
And once again, Baerga thinking opposite field right there. He wants to get that runner to third in less than 2 outs. He accomplished what he set out to do. He did a whole lot more, too. He got himself an RBI and a base hit in the process. There's a pretty good sinker down and away, but a great job by Baerga going with that pitch. Well, that is the exact perfect approach you got to have if you're going to do damage against Greg Hibbert. 3-0.
3 runs on 5 hits as Sammy Ellis will take that trip out to the mound. Check some Major League action for you. And the Yankees leading Toronto 2-1. That's in the bottom of the second at Skydome. Taylor against Candiotti. Seattle at Detroit, no score after 2. That's Holman against Gullickson. We mentioned Baltimore leading Minnesota 1-0 in the second inning. Anderson against McDonald. Later on, Texas at Kansas City. Milwaukee at Oakland. And Boston will take on the Halos at the Big A in Anaheim. Here's Albert Bell. 2 runs in. Nobody out. Baerga at first. Pittsburgh leading San Francisco 1-0 after 2.5 at Three Rivers. Burkett against Raybeck. Cincinnati scored one in the top of the first inning at Shea, Browning against Viola. Philadelphia leading Atlanta 1-0 after an inning and a half. That's Mulholland against Glavine. And later on, Dodgers take on the Cardinals in St. Louis, and Montreal will be down at the Astrodome. Dennis Martinez on the hill for the Expos. One and one the count to the 25-year-old Albert Bell.
Albert Bell really is an amazing type hitter because he's got all that power in this ballpark. We talked about the 23 homers, 64 RBIs, missing 5 weeks at the major league level. But he swings the bat from almost a dead stop position. He is right on top of the home plate, and he does generate some bat speed. Look, the bat is almost in front of him, and he's almost dead stop from a dead spot. There's 2-1 now.
They mentioned the strength of Albert Bell. He can hit it just about as far as anyone. Born in Shreveport, Louisiana. There goes Baerga. Big hack by Bell. And then the count 2-2.
Well, the Indians getting aggressive tonight, putting runners in motion. Something they really haven't done much of all year. We've talked about their lack of stolen bases throughout the course of the season. Cleveland on the year has stolen only 59 bases. Of course, Boston is lower than that, and Baltimore is even lower than that.
The 2-2 pitch. Ozzie. Fletcher. Rack him up. .103rd double play of the season turned by the Sox. 2 out, and that'll bring up Mark Whitten. Mark single last inning and scored. Curveball high. Mark, with Sammy Sosa not being in the big leagues, Mark Whitten certainly has the best arm in right field in the American League. He has 12 assists this year. Pitch misses in the count 2-0. And of course tomorrow night he will be facing Jack McDowell.
Yeah, I was just thinking he's got a pretty good right cross too, and as a matter of fact, as well as that throwing arm. Big strong guy, about 6'3", 215-pounder, switch hitter.
Pull a string on him in the count 2-1. Going away. Hibbert walked Hill. James doubled him in, and Baerga singled in James. And he walks Whitten. So here's Carlos Martinez. Carlos had a shot in the left field for a base hit last inning. Carlos hitting .307 as he stands in. Takes a fastball strike. Carlos spent most of the year with Canton and Akron. Down there, he had 329, 11 homers, and drove in 73 in 80 ball games.
Wow.
Well, he can hit.
Well, he hit 300 2 years ago for the White Sox.
Into short center field, Ozzie now making the call. Has the ball, and it'll retire to the side. But the Indians put a couple more on the board. And after 3, they lead it 3-0. That's the story as they get set to go to the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Ventura, Thomas, and Pasqua. And a reminder, you can plan a pregame party below right field at New Comiskey Park on the Kingsford Charcoal patio area. Party packages are available for groups of 20 to 1,500 people. So for more information, just call the Sox sales office at 312-924-1000. As Robin takes a strike. Robin hit into a 4-6-3 double play in the 1st inning. Up high. And of course, that Kingsford Charcoal patio area out there in right field at Comiskey Park. It's where the Bertucci boys roam. Bobby and Bruno. Souvenir left side, and the count 0-2.
And of course, they do provide the official ribs and chicken of the Chicago White Sox television booth.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
boy.
he did. Pull the string on him, so Robin. 3rd strikeout for Blair.
Hey, you're looking at a pretty good pitcher tonight in White. That's Willie Blair. That's a good breaking ball down and into Robin Ventura. He misses this one by a pretty good margin. He's way off stride, did not pick up the rotation. Hard breaking ball down and in. So Willie Blair has his 3rd strikeout.
Dick Frank steps in. Hit one off the end of the bat. Takes a fastball inside. Right back to Willie, a comebacker. Also have Mike and Tim Sweeney in attendance tonight. Drove down from Chicago to see the Sox play. That's fair ball. Manto, long peg, high. It'll be an error. Oh, they're going to give him a base hit. We'll take it.
Very slow developing play there by Manto at 3rd base. He looked like he was taking a country stroll out there, and he did not have that much time because Frank is getting down the line in a hurry. Likes he just kind of backhands. Nice and easy over to first base. Looked like Frank had it beat anyway.
Here's Pasqua. Danny struck out, leading off the 2nd inning. But the Sweeneys, Mike and Tim, want to say hello to their relative Jerry Sweeney back in Chicago.
And Kevin McCarthy is here from Cheyenne, Wyoming, a big White Sox fan.
Danny takes the ball. Cheyenne, Wyoming.
They don't have your money there,
No.
do they?
Short lead by Big Frank. 2-1 the count to Pasqua. Change up misses low, so it's 3 balls and a strike with Fisk on deck. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Cleveland. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the Sox. And that's ball 4. Second walk issued by Blair. So here comes Fisk. Carlton drew a walk back in the 2nd inning. Thomas at second, Pasqua at first. As Pudge takes the ball. There you see 35 homers, 125 RBIs, with a 283 average. That's good.
Very good.
Yeah. Good heater from Blair, and the count 1-1.
Tell you what, there's nothing wrong with Willie Blair's stuff. Talking about a pretty good fastball, velocity-wise and movement. Seen some good breaking stuff as well, and a changeup.
Well, we saw him earlier last year when he worked those 2 innings against the Sox with the Blue Jays. He had good stuff that day.
Yeah. He's
got an impressive arm. Meanwhile, right there, Fermin Baerga. Second double play turn by the Tribe. And it'll do it. After 3.5, 3-0 Indians. Sox once again find themselves in trouble here in the bottom of the 4th inning as they trail the Tribe 3-0. A reminder, there is still a limited number of 1991 opening day tickets encased in lucite available for 1995. These are a sure collector's item, so to purchase, just call 708-398-3798. It'll be the lower third of the Indian order: Manto, Skinner, and Fermin to face Greg Hibbert. Manto lined hard to Lance Johnson his first trip. Got a hanging curveball. There's a strike and the count 0-2.
Pretty good pitch right there by Greg Hibbert. Had Manto way out in front. That last inning, those Indian hitters really concentrated on hitting the ball the opposite field. They did a good job moving those runners along. Hit and run was perfect execution by Chris James and Glenallen Hill to produce that second run.
There's a base hit in the left field. So Jeff Manto picks up a single on his 27th birthday. And here comes the catcher, Joel Skinner. He got the Tribe on the board in the second with 2 out. Whitten at second, Martinez at first. Got a low curveball from Hibbert and hit it hard right back through the middle. Boy, they're just going right with him, Wimpy. And as you mentioned at the top, you were hoping to see this Indian club try to pull Hibbert. Not so.
Well, they've got a good game plan. Jose Morales is the hitting coach over there, and I'm sure that's what they went over in their pregame meeting. Watch it. Doesn't appear to be a bad pitch. It's down and away, and Skinner just goes with it perfectly, taking advantage of the fact that Danny Pasqua is holding that runner on. But Hibbert, on the other hand, Hawk, is not throwing any inside fastballs.
Nope.
So if you don't do that, they can just lean out over the plate and try and do that all night long.
You know, it's amazing. Last time out against the Yankees, just completely dominated the Pinstripers, pitching in. And all of a sudden gets out there here. Just goes away, away, away as Felix Fermin steps in. There's a curveball strike.
Well, you said it so many times. The softer you throw, the more you have to pitch inside. Nolan Ryan and those Roger Clemens don't necessarily have to come inside as often as a guy that throws in the 80-mile-an-hour range.
Okay, so an update from Baltimore. Twins leading 3-1.
What new? You've
got to pitch inside. especially when you get guys who can approach you the way the Indian hitters are approaching Hibbert tonight. You got to bury them in there. Pitch out, nothing on. Southpaw Ken Patterson, son of Gene,
from McGregor.
Big gap in left center field. See where Raines is playing and Lance. Felix Fermin with a 1-1 count. Good change. Even though he got it up a little bit, took a lot off of it. So Fermin out of the Dominican Republic.
Been a few shortstops come out of there, haven't they?
Oh boy.
But then they have 6 or 7 at one time from the same city, San Pedro de Macorís.
That's into right field. Newsom coming on. Makes the catch. Here comes Manto. He'll score. And it's a 4-0 Indian lead.
You're really not supposed to be able to tag up and score on a ball hit like that. They're playing very shallow for Maine. One thing, Warren Newsom could not get himself in good throwing position right there. The ball was hit right at him. I'm thinking that the ball may have been in the lights. That was the only reason he could have had that approach to it, because and he couldn't get anything on the ball because he was on his heels when he caught it. Manto scores easily, and Manto can't run.
Here's the leadoff hitter, Glenn Allen Hill. Glenn Allen has lined hard to left. He has walked. He led off that third inning with a walk and scored on James' double. 4-7-0 for the Tribe, 0-2-0 for the Sox. Curveball. Glenn Allen out of Santa Cruz, California, 6'2", 210 pounds, and as we mentioned, he is strong. He can generate some bat speed. Hit that one hard by Ventura. Skinner on his way to third, out and Glenn Allen Hill on his way to second. So the double.
Well, let's take a look at this replay. Glenn Allen Hill gets his 8th double of the season. Fastball right down the middle. I think he was trying to come inside for maybe the first time in the ball game. He got that bat out of the strike zone and hammered it right down the third baseline. So tough outing tonight for Greg Hibbert. He is out of there. Ken Patterson coming in from the bullpen.
All right, a break in the action as Hibbert will depart. Patterson comes on. We'll be back to give you his numbers right after this.
There you see it. It's not pretty. 4-0 Indians. There's one out. Runners at second and third. And a new pitcher for the Sox is Ken Patterson. Ken coming on. He's got a 3-0 record. 2.77 earned run average. This is his 33rd appearance. He's got one save. American League is batting just 207 against Ken. Almost 49 innings of work. Just 36 hits. Walks have been a bit of a problem. 29. 26 strikeouts. And here's Chris James.
He's 1 for 2. Hits this one into short right center field. Newsom, Lance Johnson making the call. And here he comes. Lance was the right one to take it. Even though he does not have a strong throwing arm, at least he was moving towards the plate more.
Yeah.
So a big out. A good pitch by Patterson got in on James. And that'll bring up the second baseman, switch hitting Carlos Baerga.
Well, you might want to just send a base runner on general principle anytime the ball is hit in the air to the outfield, or anytime there's a chance to score, because there's not a good throwing arm in that White Sox outfield.
Nope.
Whoa.
Carlos 1 for 2. Of course, Skinner. Old Skins does not move it too quickly at third base. There's on the inside corner. A little slide ball, and the count of 1-1 to Baerga. That did RBI single last inning. Carlos out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. Good job by Patterson. But the Indians put another one on the board on 3 hits. No errors, 2 left. And after 4-0 tries. A participating advertiser of White Sox baseball is Haggerty Dodge, where it's Advantage Dodge, the Haggerty clan.
And we're at the top of the 5th inning here at Cleveland Stadium. Sox trailing the Tribe 4-0. 4-8-0 for Cleveland, 0-2-0 for the White Sox. And Willie Blair, he has been terrific. 2-hit shutout working for himself right now. He also has 2 very important ground ball double plays to his credit. So the Indians playing very good defense as well. There's a slider right there to Warren Newsom to start things off for the Sox. It'll be Newsom, Johnson, and Fletcher. First 3 to face Blair here in the 5th inning. The Indians are not playing tonight like a team 44 games under the 500 mark. 0-2 on Newsom as he fouls the fastball straight back. Willie Blair, as we've mentioned, has good stuff. Well, his fastball has been at times overpowering tonight upstairs, and when he's down, he has good movement on the sinker. There's a jam shot in on the hands of Newsom, a little weak line drive right to Jeff Manto at third base. So 1 up, 1 down here in the 5th. Mike Hargrove, the human rain delay at home plate. When you talk about a guy who would fidget, he makes Carlton Fisk look fast at home plate. Mike Hargrove, an excellent hitter for so many years for Cleveland. Texas Rangers. Fastball misses outside the Lance Johnson, and is the first player to manage in the big leagues that Jeff Torborg managed as a player. Jeff was here at Cleveland when Grover was a player for him. Well, Jeff has his first guy in the big leagues, and he's looking across at him, across the diamond, Mike Hargrove. Lance Johnson fouls that one straight back, so he's looking at a 1-2 count. Cleveland coming into this ball game last in the American League in defense. They've made 111 team errors, but you wouldn't notice it tonight. They've turned 2 double plays, and Willie Blair has been outstanding on the hill. There's a jam shot into right field. Playing very shallow is Mark Whitten, so he makes the play easy. And Willie Blair retires the first 2 hitters here in the 5th. Cleveland outfielders playing very shallow for the most part, knowing that wind blowing straight in from center field. And if you're Mike Hargrove, you've got to feel pretty good about this game. When you've got a 4-run lead here, it's tough to mess it up. So Scotty Fletcher hits with 2 down. Nobody on. Scooter 0 for 1. He flied out to left field. That was in the 3rd inning. Fastball lined in the left field. Scotty Fletcher with a base hit. Oh, he hammered that one. That away, Scooter. Scotty's been swinging the bat very well lately. Coming in, though, his batting average is down to 199. 1 homer, 21 RBI. So he's got to feel pretty good about that one. That'll bring up Ozzie Guillen. Ozzie hit a line shot to center field, probably the hardest hit ball against Willie Blair tonight. That was right at Glen Ellen Hill, though. Sox need to get some thunder going here. Ozzie tries to bunt it left side, fouls it. Good try. Sox need base runners. Very difficult for Ozzie Guillen to drive in Scott Fletcher from first base, so he's trying to get on himself. And when you do that, you the execution is so important. You got to get it right down that third baseline or foul like Ozzie did. You don't want to punt it towards the pitcher or right at that third baseman. So Ozzie in there now with an 0-1 count. Well, they are really shallow for him in the outfield. Witten just beyond the second baseman in right. Hits this one, pulls this one right at Martinez. He'll take it himself. And the side is retired here in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit. The Sox leave a runner. So we're halfway through this game at Cleveland Stadium. Sox trailing it 4-0. Albert Bell to lead things off for the Tribe here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. They're leading by 4. Willie Blair all the way for Cleveland. Greg Hibbert relieved by Ken Patterson for the Sox. First pitch swing, fastball, hit a mile high left side. Robin Ventura in front of the Sox dugout makes the play, so there's 1 down here in the 5th. It's a home run in an elevator shaft. You look at Cleveland Stadium, they're averaging just over 15,000 per ball game here. As we mentioned earlier, the playing surface looks great. Cleveland Browns have undoubtedly played a couple of exhibition games here, and it still looks like in good playing condition. So hats off to the ground crew here. It's Mark Witten. Witten's had a perfect night so far. Singled and scored in the 2nd inning, and he walked back in the 3rd. There's a good hard slider down and in by Patterson. That's the pitch right there. Probably really make Ken Patterson an outstanding pitcher. That slider down and in. He did not have that pitch last year. Working on it very hard. It's a great pitch, lefty against righty. Fastball jam sandwich. And now let's pause for station identification.
This is WGN-TV Chicago, America's #1 sports station.
Back at Cleveland Stadium, Mark Witten working here with a 1-2 count against Ken Patterson. There's a good changeup right there. Pulled left side. Ozzie quickly throws him out. Well, KP has done a nice job tonight. Patterson retiring all 4 hitters he has faced. Did a good job coming in with runners at 2nd and 3rd, and 1 out. Did not allow the run, so he's given the Sox an opportunity with his good job in long relief to come back against Cleveland. Now Cleveland, as a staff, a 4.19 earned run average. It's right at the middle of the pack in the American League, and not very good when you consider this ballpark what a great pitcher's park it is. Here's Carlos Martinez taking a curveball right there. Carlos, we mentioned, a former White Sox player. Hit 300 for the Sox in 1989. Really dropped off last year. Just hit 224. Fouls this one back right side. So he's down in the count now, 0-2. Oh, boy. Kevin Nomas hit his 18th homer, and the Blue Jays trailing 5-2 at Skydome. They have a chance to be tied if the Tigers win tonight. There he got him right there on the outside corner. So Martinez goes down. Ken Patterson works a 1-2-3 5th. Still 4-0 Indians.
For nothing Indians here in the top of the 6th inning. 4 runs, 8 hits. No runs, 3 hits for the Sox. It'll be the top of the order. Raines, Ventura, Big Frank Thomas, and in between the break, Wimpy was talking about Willie Blair. Looks like Don Drysdale out there tonight. He's wheeling and dealing.
Drysdale in his prime now is what I'm talking about. He is that.
Rock 1 for 2. Had a single in the 1st, then in the 3rd inning, he just crashed one. Meanwhile, can of corn.
Parachute came out on that one, didn't it?
That's by him off the glove of Martinez. That'll be a base hit. Let's get something going right here, Rock. Get a boy.
This is a crucial inning for the White Sox because the big boppers are just coming around 2 more times. You know, Raines, Ventura, and Thomas, they've been pretty much carrying the load, the White Sox offense, in the month of August. So if these guys don't do it, generally speaking, it's not going to get done. We got to get something going right here. Willie Blair has just been cruising. Now he's got a 4-hitter working for him. But these are the guys that got to do some damage.
Well, you know, you'd think that your top 3 hitters, as Robin steps in, there you see he's had a tough evening off Blair. Takes it low. You'd think that if Raines, Ventura, and Thomas were smoking like they have been in August, and we'll tell you what they're doing. Raines thus far in 21 games in August, hitting at .352. Robin, .319 with 4 homers, 16 RBIs. Big Frank, .392 as Raines takes off. Throw by Skinner off the mark, so stolen base as he'll go into third base on a bad throw from Skinner. Stolen base number 42 for Raines.
There you go. You've got to do stuff like that. You just can't sit back, especially in this ballpark, and think you're going to get a three-run homer or a grand slam and tie this thing up. You got to be aggressive like you were all year. White Sox stealing bases. Now that's the 108th stolen base on the season. They have got to do that. For the Indians, that error by Skinner is their 112th on the year, so they are dead last in that category.
So the count 1-1 to Robin. But the cumulative average of Raines, Ventura, and Thomas in August is .356 with 11 homers and 47 RBIs. So you'd think that the Sox would be in outstanding shape, but it just goes back to show you, unless you can catch the baseball, you're not going to win. Chopper right side. That's a fair ball as Raines scores, and it's a 4-1 ball game. RBI number 78 for Robin.
And credit Tim Raines with his aggressive base running right there, getting that run, and RBI for Robin Ventura. Gets the Sox on the board, gets them a little bit closer now at 4-1. See if they can't generate anything now. There's one out. Big Frank the hitter.
Thomas 1 for 2. Big Frank, a little comebacker to Blair in the first inning. Then hit a chopper down the third baseline. Manto made a high throw. They gave him a base hit. He'll take it. Boy, Blair just getting it and throwing it.
Don't you just love him?
Souvenir right side.
Well, we talk about Mark Wiley, the pitching coach of the Cleveland Indians, and these guys, from what we have seen, talking to some people around here, they're not playing the fast games that they used to. But one of the things that Wiley preaches is to get the ball and throw it. Get into a healthy scheme of things, healthy rhythm. And the best way to do it with young pitchers, do it quickly.
Look at this. Boy, there's some nice hitting by the big man. Wow. Something special.
That's why guys hit .320 right there. That's a pitcher's pitch all the way. .330 hitters can do this.
Watch it. Watch his approach.
That's nasty. How do you hit that one?
In the bullpen, they say, now that's the way to throw that slider.
Oh, it is. And I'm sure that the 99% of the hitters, they couldn't have made contact like Frank does right there.
Pasqua takes it low. We say he is definitely something special. And according to how things progress the rest of the way, you got to look at that big man right there for MVP consideration.
Yeah, you really do. You know, the only drawback is that Frank is DH most of the year. But man, for what he has done for this ball club from an offensive standpoint, it's just incredible.
I don't think there's another hitter in this league who has done more for his respective club than 35 has. The Big Hurt's done for us.
Oh, there's no doubt. You look at him, what he's done with runners in scoring position, for the opportunities that he's gotten to drive in runs, his year is phenomenal.
1-1 the count to Pasqua.
Frank's ability to hit the ball to all fields is really one of the big reasons why he is hitting in that .325 range right now. Big guy with power. You got to play him deep, but you just don't know where he's going to hit it.
High into left field. Chris James 2 gone. 4-8-1 for the Indians, 1-5-0 for the Sox. That'll bring up Carlton Fisk. He's walked and hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Checks it up, takes the ball. Big John Shulot. Big Red at first. Two and 0 the count. Felix Fermin on the short hop. Bags the bag. That'll do it. But the Sox pick up a run on 2 hits. 1 error, 1 left. After 5.5, 4-1 Cleveland. There it is, bottom of the 6th inning. And a reminder on Friday, August 30th at 7:05, the Sox host these same Cleveland Indians, and the first 20,000 adults will receive a hip pack, courtesy of all the good folks at Miller Lite. Just call or visit your local ticket master at 312-831-1-SOX. That's Friday, August 30th, a hip pack. And speaking of those big hips, I went for Root.
They're adorable.
Lower third of the Indian order, Manto, Skinner, and Fermin. Checking some action for you around the American League. Dwight Evans hit a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 4th inning, his 5th of the season. And the Orioles leading Minnesota 4-3. That's Anderson against McDonald. Texas scored 3 in the first against the Royals after an inning and a half. 3-0 Rangers. Bohannon against Apier. Watch out.
Look out. Oh, my. I hate to say this, but he got somebody right in his beer. For that young lady, right in the cup.
Fortunately, it was a lot better there than someplace else. Slider low and inside. The count 2-1.
Our crack camera crew. Splash.
3 balls and a strike. Yankees still leading the Blue Jays 5-2. Kevin Moss has cranked out number 18. That's after 4. Ozzie. Watch out.
Well, luckily, Manto was not either running hard or doesn't run good. You see, that just slips right out of his hand right there. Pasqua does a good job to get back on the base, but Ozzie did not follow through at all with that throw.
Manto was running as hard as he could. He's just pulling that old proverbial piano. Here's Skinner. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Over in the National League, Reds leading the Metropolitans 5-0. Bottom of the 4th inning at Shea. It's Browning against Viola. Boy, Viola's been getting lit up lately.
He really has, yeah.
Big time. Back out of play, and the count 1-1.
He probably should have taken that contract offer.
You know what? The other day I was thinking, not this time, but his last start, I was thinking exactly the same thing.
No kidding. Well, I'll tell you what.
Don't get greedy.
Bird in hand, what is that old saying?
Say another guy that's done the same thing too. In a way, not to the extent of. Look at this little jam job. Ozzie going back. Can't get there. Oh, duck snort. Skinner 3 for 3. Doyle Kim Boyd.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not to that extent, though, but he just...
No.
He's really hurting his chances, that's for sure.
They don't put pictures on scorecards, Skinner says.
That's right. Skins gets jammed, but he takes a full swing right there, and that's the key. Falls in front of Tim Raines and Lance Johnson in left center field, so he's aboard for the third consecutive time. Runner at first base, one out. Felix Fermin, the hitter. Got an RBI tonight.
Fouls the fastball back. Pittsburgh shutting out the Giants 5-0. That's in the bottom of the fifth at Three Rivers. Philadelphia down at Fulton County Stadium. And Atlanta just down the street from Stone Mountain. The game is tied at 1 in the bottom of the fifth. Now Skinner calls timeout. Going to talk with Gordon McKenzie, new coach here since Hargrove took over. Mike was the first base coach. Boy, that's a great pitch. That pitch right there will do wonders for any left-hander.
You got to like it. That hard slider down and in. Of course, that's in off the plate right there for me. You got to move those feet.
Remember Sox left-hander Gary Peters?
Sure.
That's how I hit against him every time. I don't care where the pitch was. That right knee was coming out of there. Because I knew he used to love to hit strong right-handed hitters right on that right kneecap with that slider.
That hurt, too.
Oh, he was vicious. 4-1, Cleveland on top here in the 6th inning. Pitch out. Watch this. They got him dead to rights. Now Skinner. So they're reading the mail right there, as Wimpy mentioned. Mike Hargrove being very aggressive tonight with a club that really doesn't run that well, but sometimes you've got to be more aggressive with that kind of team.
And you talk about dragging a piano. Joel Skinner is one of those guys, too. He can't run a lick. But they wanted to put something in motion here. Fermin's a good contact man, so what Hargrove is doing is relying on Fermin to put the ball in the play. Now here's Skins. Uh-oh. Pitch out. He reads it. Good job by Carlton Fisk not throwing the ball down the second base, realizing what the situation was.
He knew who was running.
That's true, too. All the above.
Well, all Hargrove's got to do now is just change his signs. Evidently, the Sox have the signs right there now. Got one of the best in the business at reading is that chop down to third base. Fair ball, Robin. And that'll do it. So really an easy inning for Patterson. After 6, Cleveland leads it 4-1. A participating advertiser of White Sox baseball is Joliet Dodge, where it's Advantage Dodge. Warren Newsom leads off the 7th inning. It'll be Newsom, Johnson, and Fletcher. Sox trail at 4-1. 4-9-1 for the Tribe. 1-5-0 for the Sox. Deacon 0 for 2 tonight. You know, I was just thinking last inning, Wimpy. We were talking about what Raines, Ventura, and Thomas have been doing. Where are those 3- and 4-run rallies the Sox used to have, never getting a ball out of the infield?
I know.
I'll tell you. Meanwhile, they were making every play. They were catching everything that was hit. And as they've been swinging the bats, you know, a lot better.
That's right.
And the defense they've been more or less going for the offense rather than the defense.
When was the last time they won a game in their last at bat, too? You know, that well kind of ran dry, really. You can't keep doing that. with any degree of success, because every once in a while that opposition's going to rise to the challenge, make a great play.
There's a little duck snort. Yes. So the Deacon aboard, leadoff hitter. It's been, I don't know exactly the date, but I'll tell you, it's got to be at least close to 2 months now they won a game in their last at bat.
Whoa.
Remember they had 25 in a hurry.
Yeah, yeah. And we're sitting on that number for a long time. I don't know if it was quite 2 months, but it certainly is a good period of time.
Well, the Sox have hit 58 home runs in their last 48 ball games. 39 in their last 27. Lance Johnson, chopper right side. Baerga going to go to second base. That's all they'll do is get Newsom. Talking with a couple of riders this afternoon. And we are a defensive-oriented club. Everything this ball club is built around is on defense. Boy, I'll tell you, it has not been pretty the last 3 weeks. 2 weeks. Here's Scooter. Scooter 1 for 2. He had a vicious line drive for a base hit in the left field in the 5th inning.
One thing, I think Drew Koval's doing a real good job behind the plate tonight, ball and strikes. No complaints by anyone except for Martinez on a pitch that was right there.
Yeah, it was a vicious slider on the inside corner.
Well, he's not calling that pitch at 6-7 inches outside tonight for a strike. Really giving the hitters a chance to get out there and do something. Calling the strikes strikes and the ball's balls.
Double-barreled activity for the Tribe. Otto and Hillegas. Outfield bunched a bit, for the most part straight up. Lance with 19 stolen bases.
If he gets a good jump right here, no reason why he shouldn't try and steal second base. Got to keep going, even though you're 3 runs down. That's what got him the run last inning with Tim Raines. Got the third, scored on a ground ball out.
Good lead by Johnson. Fastball strike. The ball is striking out here in the top of the 7th. Pitching matchups. Tomorrow afternoon it'll be Blackjack McDowell against Charles Nagy. And the finale on Sunday, Alex Fernandez against Rod Nichols. A little shorter lead by Lance. There goes Lance. High in the left field. 2 gone. That'll bring up Ozzie. Ozzie 0 for 2. Indians with a run in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. All those coming off Greg Hibbert. Since that time, Ken Patterson has just been outstanding, giving up 1 little broken bat single. There's a base hit right by Carlos Martinez. So Lance round second. He'll move into third, and with 2 outs, Sox have runners at the corner.
And it'll give Tim Raines a chance to hit here. Timmy's got a couple base hits tonight, and he scored the only run that they have, so it's a good situation to have Raines up. Pitches down. Ozzie, an excellent low ball hitter, as you can see, goes down and gets his fastball. Runner being held down, so Martinez can't make the play. Lance Johnson utilizes that great speed, even though Mark Whitten is in right field with that great throwing arm. He gets to third. So runners at the corners now with 2 outs. Sox with 7 hits now against Willie Blair.
Timmy 2 for 3. In the third inning, when he made his only out, he just creamed it. Deep into right center field. This is wrong park to be going out there and for Raines. 1-0 the count. Tim hitting at .272 as he stands in with the 2 base hits tonight. It's 2-0. Ventura on deck. Mark Wiley has been given the nudge by Hargrove to go out and talk to Blair.
It is conceivable that Willie Blair could be getting a little tired right now. Hasn't pitched a whole lot of innings at the major league level this year, although in his last start he did work 7 strong innings against the Rangers, gave up just 6 hits and 2 runs. He was the losing pitcher. Of course, the Indians were shut out in that ball game 2-0.
So there's Lance at third and Ozzie at first. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 out. That's hit hard in the left field, but wrong spot. Chris James. And that'll do it. Nothing across, couple of hits. Whereas 2 outs after 6.5. 4-1 Cleveland.
Scoreboard. Seattle beating the Tigers 3-1 at Tiger Stadium, and they're in the 5th inning there. New York over Toronto 5-3 at Skydome. They're in the 6th. A 4-4 tie. Minnesota at Baltimore in the 6th inning at Memorial Stadium. Texas shutting out Kansas City 3-0 in the 3rd. Milwaukee is at Oakland tonight, and Boston at California. In the National League, the Cubs made a comeback and beat San Diego 5-4. It's Pittsburgh 5, San Francisco 0 at Three Rivers in the 5th inning. A 1-1 tie, Philadelphia at Atlanta in the 5th. Cincinnati over New York 6-0 in the 5th inning at Shea. The Dodgers trailing St. Louis 1-0 at Busch Stadium. And no score in the 4th, Montreal at the Houston Astrodome.
Top of the order for the Tribe here in the bottom of the 7th as they lead it 4-1. Glenn Allen Hill takes it off the plate. He's 1 for 2. He's lined hard to left. He's walked, scored a run, and he has doubled. Breaking ball low, and a count 2-0. Outfield spread out straight up for Hill. That's deep. Way back. Tim Raines will make the play. Right against the fence. This is the only ballpark in baseball that ball is not in the seats.
That's right. Boy, he just kills it. He goes upstairs and gets a high fastball and nails it. Watch the swing right here. He's got all the tools to be an excellent player and a good hitter. Look at it right here. He gets his hands above the ball and just smokes it. That is bat at a real good angle right there. You can see he grips the bat with a very loose top hand, and he just fires it at the ball. Raines right there. Probably should have been gone anyway. The wind really kept it in.
Chris James. Well, how'd you like to pitch in this part?
Oh, Well, you got to want the ball here.
That ball was absolutely scalded.
Yeah.
Ozzie. 2 gone.
Well, you know, the only other place that is not a home run is Fenway, but it probably went through that ball.
No, that's high enough there.
Really?
Yeah, that was high enough. I'll tell
Boy.
you. This is the only part, right here. It's just a hang with 'em, kid. Carlos Baerga had an RBI single in the 3rd inning. Takes a curveball low. 4-9-1 for the Tribe. 1-7-0 for the Sox. Souvenir right side. Pittsburgh now leading the Mets 8-0. That's in the top of the 6th inning at Pittsburgh.
That's not a good swing. Still gets a piece of it. Baerga's an unusual looking hitter, isn't he, Hawk? He's way up in front of the plate. Cocks his hands upward on his swing. Gets that high leg kick. Look how very unusual. Right there, just kind of slices that one. Bit tardy, but he's productive.
All right, hit, base hit. I love that action with his hands. Only a couple guys in this league do that. John Olerud, Blue Jays.
Yeah. You know, I watch a lot of St. Louis Cardinals hitters do that, and every time you see a highlight, watch how his hands go. Instead of coming down, his go up. That cocking motion in an upward fashion, and it certainly works for him. I see a lot of St. Louis Cardinal hitters do the exact same thing.
Who's their hitting coach over there?
I don't know, probably some no-name guy.
I'll tell you what, if you could ever do it, get your son at an early age doing that, he's much better off doing that than going down with him.
Yeah, you watch that Todd Zeal swing the bat. He does it that way. All those young hitters.
Albert Bell. Albert 0 for 3 tonight. He's bounced a second, hit into a double play, and he's popped to Ventura. Albert out of LSU, where he holds most of the hitting records. Bell with 23 homers, 64 runs knocked in. And he's missed 5 weeks, for the most part, because of disciplinary action. They say he's a very, very quiet individual as you look at right-hander Brian Draymond for the Sox. And once he gets on the field, there's a good change. Good splitter right there from Patterson. Then the count 0-2. So the Bell really just flip-flops a little bit.
Yeah. There's no doubt about his talent to hit a baseball, though. Look at those numbers, especially in this ballpark.
Blowing away a ball and 2 strikes. Fastball upstairs, and the count evens at 2. Seattle leading the Tigers 3-2. Bottom of the fifth at Detroit. Mickey Tettleton has homered, number 25.
Tigers tough at Tiger Stadium.
Ozzie gets a nice little Butterfield bounce over to Fletcher, and that'll do it. Nothing across. There was a hit, no errors, a man left after 7. Cleveland on top, 4-1. It's the top of the 8th inning. 4-1 Cleveland. It'll be Ventura, Thomas, and Pasqua. Robin takes a strike. Robin 0 for 3 tonight, but he has knocked in the only Sox run back in the 6th inning. From Rain single, stole second, went to third on the error by Joel Skinner. Robin hit a little ground ball to Carlos Martinez. Yes, and the count 0-2. A reminder, the White Sox wives, daughters versus grandstand wives. It'll be Saturday, August 31st at 11 a.m. Armour Park Square, 33rd and Shields. That's in the left field. Chris James, 1 gone. Here's Big Frankie's 2 for 3. You may have heard in the background the 7 1/3 that Willie Blair has gone is his longest stint in the major league. There's a strike. Frank hitting .326 as he stands in to go along with those 26 homers and 96 ribbies. Fastball up and in, and the count 1-1. On the outside corner. Dave Otto and Sean Hilligan. He's still bringing it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shot into center field, base hit. Big Frank, 3 for 4. He just hammered it.
3 consecutive singles now for Frank Thomas, and he got one in his zone, and he did not miss it. It was just a low liner. It almost carried. There's a fastball about thigh high right down the middle. Ball almost carried all the way out to Glenelg and Hill, about 3 or 4 feet, about 5, 6 feet off the ground. Man alive.
Here's Pasqua. Danny 0 for 2. He has walked. That's into right field. Mark Whitten. Two outs, and here's Carlton Fisk. Pudge 0 for 2. Sox have 2 more here. Go on down to Kansas City for that 3-game set against the Royals before returning home next Thursday. 4-game series with Cleveland. That'll be back out of play. Tigers now leading Seattle 4-3. The count to Fisk. Orioles hitting in the bottom of the 6th inning, tied up with the Twins at 4. There's a base hit in the right field. That's the way to go. Don't try to fight the elements.
That was a good job by Carlton right there. A little inside-out action on that swing. Just a bolt in the right field. Ron Karkovice is going to come in and run for him. Let's take a look at that swing from the side angle. You can see a little inside-out action. The hands in front of the barrel of the bat. Right by Martinez. So runners at first and second. The Sox have worked the tying run to the plate now in the person of Warren Newson. And Mike Hargrove on his way out to the mound.
Looks like he's going to stay with him. So the 25-year-old right-hander out of Paintsville, Kentucky, Willie Blair. He has really pitched well tonight. He's worked hard, as you see Karkovice at first. So here's the Deacon. He is 1 for 3. Fastball high off the plate. Outfield swung well around to the left. Nice gap between Glen Allen Hill in center and Mark Whitten in right. There's a strike on the corner, and the count evens at 1. Oh, they can need you. Right below us, and the count 1-2.
Am I still alive, by the way?
Lito Perez and John Paul loosening up for the Sox. Under the very expert eye of Dave LaRoche. 1-2 delivery. Shot slashed foul. Wow.
Deacon can hit some hard foul balls, can he? Even straight back. Taking out rows of seats with one swing, isn't he?
He almost cleared his booth out, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you, about 3 more feet, and he takes me out right between the eyes.
Once again, the 1-2 pitch. It appears that Blair is throwing as hard, if not harder, than he was the first part of the game. Nope. Full count. So Thomas at second, Karkovice at first, with the 2 outs on the move.
Yeah, it almost looks like right now he's going to a 4-seam fastball, Hawk, upstairs, where at the beginning of the game he's throwing that 2-seamer, that sinker. No.
Nothing across. Couple of hits. 2 left. After 7.5. 4-1 Cleveland. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. Cleveland on top 4-1. Warren Newsom was called out. We'll take another look at that pitch. Here's a 3-2. Look at the height. See where Skinner's glove had to go way up to get it, and they rung him up. Karkovice remains in the game behind the plate as Mark Whitten hits the first pitch into left field. Mark, that's a home run in Toronto. Meanwhile here, piece of cake. Whitten now 1 for 3 as Carlos Martinez steps in. Martinez is 1 for 3. He hit a rocket into left field back in the second for a base hit. That's when the Indians got on the board. 1 out. Whitten single. Martinez single. Then with 2 out, Skinner knocked in Whitten. Takes the ball. Shot, foul. Right, was clears out. Sox bullpen.
You know, there have been a lot of hard balls hit tonight. Unfortunately, they were in the air. And, of course, that wind and plus the big field at Cleveland, the score really doesn't indicate what it could have been had you not played this game here with the wind element.
Ozzie, as the ball's hit hard by Martinez. 2 gone. In case you're looking to the Sox tonight, lower third of the order. Scheduled hitters are Johnson, Fletcher, and Guillen. Here's the third baseman, Jeff Manto. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored. Manto, a converted pitcher. It's a good curveball from Patterson. Manto out of Bristol, Pennsylvania. Attended Temple University. Majored there in criminal justice. Inside. 2-1. And talking about justice, cranked out number 12 as the Braves now lead the Phillies 4-1 in the 7th down in Georgia. On the inside corner, a beauty from Patterson, and the count evens at 2. Oh, what a job Ken Patterson has done as he punches out Mantle. He'll grab some bench, a 1-2-3 inning, but Sox in trouble. They'll go to the 9th, trailing the Tribe 4-1.
Introducing Now It Can Be Told.
It's the cutting edge of investigative reporting.
Premiering Tuesday, September 10th on Channel 9.
That's a story, top of the 9th inning. Sox in trouble. It'll be the lower third of the order. Johnson, Fletcher, and Ozzie, the scheduled hitters, as Mike Aldretti has moved into first base in place of Carlos Martinez. So here's Lance. He's 0 for 3. And a reminder, on Saturday, August 31st, the Sox will be playing the Indians at home. All fans in attendance will see a fabulous fireworks display following that ball game, courtesy of IVI Travel. Game time is 6:05, and tickets are still available at your local Ticketmaster. 312-831-1-SOX. Right-hander Willie Blair trying for his first complete game in the major leagues. Misses in the count 2-0. He was the recipient of a very questionable call with 2 men on to Warren Newsom last inning. Corners in close. 2-1 pitch. Shot. Base hit in the left field. So 1 dog aboard.
That's the start they needed. I would be surprised if we didn't see Hargrove shortly. They hung him a breaking ball. It looked like a slider upstairs, and Lance really took advantage of it. That is the 10th White Sox hit tonight. They have been spaced, though, by Willie Blair. Just one run.
Here's Scott Fletcher. Scott 1 for 3 tonight. Takes a fastball high. One to count. Manto even with a bag at third. Ball and 2 strikes. Gap between Hill in center and Witten in right. There's a base hit in the left field. So Scotty 2 for 4.
That-a-way, Scooter. Boy, he got the head of the bat out nicely. Hammered it in that hole between Fermin and Manto. So 2 consecutive hits here. Joey Cora out to run for Fletcher. Look at this, another fastball right there. Hit hard. And if that's not it for Blair, I don't know what. 11 hits now for the Sox. They've got the tying run coming to home plate. Ozzie Guillen.
Jesse Orozco down in the pen. And a right-hander. So breaking the action. And we'll be back to tell you about the new tried pitcher right after this.
Top of the 9th inning here at Cleveland Stadium. The Sox have something going. Runners at first and second. There you look at the Cleveland dugout. Willie Blair, who went 8 strong innings, gave up 11 hits, just the 1 run. He is responsible for the 2 base runners. And Scott Fletcher. Scooter had a good night. 2 singles in 4 trips to the plate. Made good contact on all 4 occasions. He's there with Carlton Fisk. Joey Cora comes into the ball game. Will pinch run for Scotty. He got the good speed at first. And the pitcher is Sean Hillegas, former Sox right-hander, is 3-3 with a 4.38 earned run average. Appearing in his 41st game, he has 5 saves. Given up just 49 hits in almost 62 innings of work. Walked a lot of guys, 38, striking out 54. Last time we saw Sean Hillegas, it looked like he added about a foot to his fastball. Like he was much quicker than when he was when he pitched for the White Sox. So here's Ozzie Guillen, 2 runners aboard, nobody out here in the 9th inning.
There's a shot, safe there.
Base hit, yes!
Down into the corner, here comes Lance. He's going to score. Cora will stop his third. It's a 4-2 ball game. Yes!
All right. There's a nice job of hitting by Ozzie. He jumps all over first pitch fastball. It is down. That's a key for Ozzie. Belt high, and he nails it. Right down that left field line, easily scoring from second base is Lance Johnson. Joey Cora in the third. Now with some execution now, the Sox could be able to score 2 runs here. If Tim Raines can pull the ball, score Cora, get Ozzie to third base. That's what he's trying to do.
Timmy 2 for 4 tonight. A run scored, and he has hit the ball hard.
Well, the key in this at bat, not so much as scoring Cora from third, but it's getting Ozzie Guillen to third with less than 2 outs.
Aldretti even with the baggies in close at first. Manto at the cut of the grass at third. Outfield swung around to the left. Oh, good off-speed pitch right there by Hilliger. And Rain down in the count 0-2. And a reminder, following the ball game tonight, immediately following the ball game, it will be the 9 o'clock news. Four 10-1 for the Tribe, 2-12-0 for the Sox. Big out for Sean Hilliger.
Well, it's a changeup. I'm not even too sure that was a change. It looked like they just threw it in the dirt. May have been a sinking fastball from our angle. Really hard to tell, but nonetheless, the big out of the game for Cleveland right there, because Tim Raines striking out does not move those runners forward a base.
Here's Robin. He's 0 for 4. Fouls a fastball back out of play. Cora at third, Ozzie at second. One and one to count. Big Frank on deck. Ball and 2 strikes to Ventura. Now Skinner, Hilligus having some trouble locking up. 1-2 pitch. Hard hit right to Felix Fermin. Over to Aldretti. 2 out. Cora scores. It's a 4-3 game. So Ozzie at third, 2 gone. Here's Big Frank. He is 3 for 4 tonight. That's into center field, right at Glenallen Hill. Makes the catch, and the ball game is over. Those Sox trying to do something here tonight. They come up with 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. They leave 1. Final score. Cleveland takes the first of this 3-game series. Sox extend their losing streak to 4. They win it 4-3. We'll be back right after this.